The UNI Panthers get 2 home wins as Missouri Valley Conference play begins. The Panthers 2-1 now in Valley play. Coach, you started with a game here in the McLeod Center on Saturday against the Bradley Braves, and really good effort from your guys to get a team that you last saw in the conference championship game.
Yeah, and we played 2 really good teams. This past week with Bradley in that one, and then Indiana State coming in. You've got 2 experienced teams, teams that have got all conference type players on both of those teams. And with Bradley, Childs was back for the first time. Their power forward, the first time in 4 games, and he's obviously a guy that is an all conference type guy as well. So they had their full group. I didn't think we defended very well in the first half. I didn't think we guarded the ball very well. Part of that to do with, Bradley's good, but the other part is we didn't sit down and move our feet and get through some stuff and just show some toughness that we needed to show. Now after about the 10-minute mark, I thought we did. We picked it up. We guarded better. Had a terrific performance from Taiwan on the backboards. Had an unbelievable performance from AJ. What a game he had. But I just thought our defense was a lot better the last 30 minutes than it was the first 10.
Let's start with AJ Green in that game on Saturday. 35 points, a career high for him, and you needed all of them.
We did. It was a night where we didn't have a lot else going, and that happens sometimes. And we were able to get him. He was able to get himself free. We were able to get him into some spots where we kept the ball in his hands, and so he could get to some spots on the floor. But he did it with the help of his teammates. He did a lot of that, work on his own. In some ways, with that group of guys that were on the floor, we didn't do a lot. We just set a simple ball screen for him and said, "Hey, you get to your shot, or you find a teammate, or you get fouled." And he did those things. It was one of the best individual performances I've seen in my 13 and a half years.
And you mentioned Taiwan Pickford gets the start as Spencer Haldeman out with an injury. 16 rebounds for him, though. Just a ferocious night on the boards.
Yeah, you lose a starter and a key guy in Spence. He was a senior and been a big part of this for a long time for us. And you're able to replace him in that starting lineup with a guy who goes in and gets 16 rebounds. I mean, that's a real luxury to have Taiwan coming off our bench right now when we've got our entire group healthy. And he went in and did some of the stuff that we've seen him do in the past, and that's get really active and get to the boards. Some of those offensive rebounds, really important to keep a possession alive, or he put them back in and got us some points there. But fun to see him out there, and fun to see him with a big number in that rebounding column.
We saw a lot of offensive rebounds in the game on Tuesday. The Panthers topped Indiana State. Austin Phyfe, a big reason for that. We'll be talking more about him coming up as we talk about 2 Panther Missouri Valley Conference victories this week. So we'll have more coming up on Panther Sports Talk.